and welcome back to EFD. Today we have a special Where Are They Now edition as we look at 10 footballers you didn't realise were still playing. 10. Djemba Djemba. The midfielder from Cameroon is up there with Babel as one of Ferguson's biggest mistakes during his reign of the Red Devils. Over Djemba's nightmare 2 years at Manchester United, he made a meagre 20 league appearances and totted up a total of 0 Premier League goals. Unsurprisingly, he was shown the door out of Old Trafford in January of 2005. His unfortunate purchases were Aston Villa, who acquired the Cameroonian for just £1.5 million. He spent a further 2 years stealing a living in the Premier League, making only 11 appearances for the Midlands team. Since then, he's sunk down the tiers, having played for 10 clubs in 10 countries over the last decade. Now at 36, Djemba Djemba has finally found his comfort zone in the Swiss 5th division. Back to basics, he's currently playing for amateur outfit FC Valor-Balague. Switzerland's lowly ranks aren't exactly well documented, so we don't really know how he's been performing. But already, he's managed to score his first goal for the side, so he's quickly beaten his Premier League total. 9. Babel. You probably knew this guy was still active due to his recent career revival. His name has been back in the headlines for being recalled to the Dutch squad after a 6-year stint away from international football. But if we rewind back to 2013, we can see the former Liverpool man's steady fall from grace. The young, promising product of the Ajax Academy was a force at youth team level and labelled as the next Thierry Henry. Following stints in the Bundesliga and Eredivisie, he found himself playing in the Middle East during his prime instead of competing for the Golden Boot. But having left Al Ain following some disciplinary issues about his questionable tweeting habits, Babel has somehow found himself back in the Champions League. In January 2017, the 30-year-old signed for Turkish side Besiktas on a 2.5-year deal. And with 3 wins in their 3 Champions League games so far, Babel has been a vital influence, having scored twice and earning an assist in the tournament. 8. Didier Drogba. Football has already said a fond farewell to the Chelsea goalscorer at least twice, but it turns out the legend still hasn't let go of the game. Following spells in China and in Turkey before returning to West London for a season-long love-in, the star striker is now playing in the 2nd tier of American football. Although he is still clinging on to his playing ability, the 39-year-old is more than just a marquee striker for Phoenix Rising. Having reportedly taken some business advice from Roman Abramovich, he is also co-owner of the Valley of the Sun club, becoming the first player owner in the history of football. And it doesn't look like Drogba is anywhere near retirement, as he is hoping to celebrate his 40th birthday with promotion to the MLS for Phoenix. His teammates will probably have to recreate that final game for Chelsea and actually force him off the pitch to get him to give up the game. 7. Shola Ameobi. Shola Ameobi is another player to feature on this list who seems to be totally immune to time. He is somehow still playing competitive football. The former Newcastle striker, who became a free agent back in 2014, hasn't had trouble finding work. After leaving the Magpies in 2014, he has been battling defenders in the lower tiers of English football. Having played for Bolton Wanderers, Fleetwood Town, he now finds himself under the control of Kevin Nolan, playing for Notts County in League 2. The 36-year-old has gained a cult following from the Notts fans, who thank the Newcastle benchwarmer for their club's recent revival. Notts County are currently sitting pretty at the top of the English 4th tier, a point ahead of Accrington Stanley. Ameobi is hoping to change the mind of his critics, who said he'd be past his best. But really, who's watching League 2? 6. Tomáš Rosický. Arsenal's little Mozart earned a residency in the Gunners' medical room, as his Premier League career was continually hampered by relentless injuries. The rare occasion that he was fit, Rosický was known for his ability to conduct the game, with one of his most memorable performances coming against North London rivals Spurs, as he took the ball from the halfway line to score and knock Tottenham out of the FA Cup. Despite his dazzling ability, he averaged less than 25 appearances a season before he left Arsenal in the summer of 2016. Wenger famously said, "If you love football, then you love Rosický." So good news, the 37-year-old is still playing. The midfielder has returned to his home nation to orchestrate matches in the Czech capital for Sparta Prague. He has made 9 league appearances for the side so far in the 17-18 season, and he has already scored 1 goal. 5. Joe Cole. Joe Cole was the wonder kid set to light up the Premier League. At 15, he wowed the stands playing for the England schoolboys as he earned the attention of nearly all the big English clubs. And at just 17 years old, he broke into the West Ham senior squad. And over a 5-year stay for his boyhood club, he won 126 caps before moving to Chelsea for £6.6 million. Over 7 seasons at the Bridge, the Englishman won 3 league titles, 3 FA Cups, 2 League Cups and 2 Community Shields. Despite the seemingly glowing trophy cabinet, Cole didn't ever really reach the potential that he'd once shown. But he is still playing. In 2016, he moved stateside to play for Tampa Bay Rowdies. The club based in Florida was only born in 2008, meaning that Cole has been playing for 10 years longer than his new team has even existed. Playing in the NASL, he has already made 50 appearances, and in October 2017, he was nominated for the Golden Ball Award. 4. Fabio Quagliarella. The Italian stallion started out in Torino, and over the course of his playing career, he has played for 8 different Serie A teams. That's nearly half of the league. After breaking the hearts of Napoli fans, the peak of his career came with his move to Juventus, where he won 3 consecutive league titles between 2011 and 2014. Over his 4 years at Juve, he scored 23 goals in 63 appearances. But he hadn't stopped pissing off football fans. In 2014, he switched sides of Turin, signing for Torino for €3.5 million. 2 seasons later, in 2016, he moved across Italia one more time to don the Sampdoria blue. So far in the 17-18 season, he is averaging at 0.6 goals per 90 minutes, and the 34-year-old has plenty more nets to hit, with his contract keeping him playing till 2019. 3. Andrey Arshavin. You probably know Arshavin as the Russian wonder kid who showed flashes of utter brilliance, but ultimately failed to consistently perform at the top level. The highlight of his 4.5-year career at Arsenal has to be the outrageous 4-goal Man of the Match spectacular against Liverpool in 2009. Arshavin took a lot of criticism as he struggled to maintain a spot in the first 11. The Russian had set the bar too high and his form took an inevitable dive. By the time he left the Emirates, he had scored a total of 31 goals and 41 assists over his 143 caps for the club. But like the rest on this list, he has slipped down the divisions, currently clinging on to his playing career in the Kazakhstan Premier League. A big fish in a small pond, Arshavin has unsurprisingly been impressing for Kairat. In 2016, he was voted as the Kazakhstan Player of the Year. In 58 appearances across all competitions, the 36-year-old has netted 18 times and assisted 21 goals. 2. Michael Essien. The Ghanaian midfielder is yet another ex-Chelsea man yet to hang up his boots. Essien, who moved from Lille to Stamford Bridge in 2005, was Chelsea's record-breaking signing at the time. He went on to make 168 league appearances over his 9-year-long stay in London. Having won the Premier League with the Blues, Essien added the Champions League trophy to his locker in 2012, before following Mourinho to Madrid later that year. He continued to play in the European top flight with a brief stint at AC Milan. But where is he now? Well, he's recently joined the Indonesian League to stretch his career a few more years, taking his favoured number 5 shirt at Persib Bandung. Indonesia could be the new China, as he isn't the only high-profile player making an appearance in the lower-level Liga 1. Carlton Cole briefly joined him at Persib, while Peter Odemwingie and Didier Drogba are also playing in the Indonesian League. 1. Roberto. The average age for a footballer to retire is 35. But for Roberto, time simply doesn't move, as he is still playing professionally at an ancient 43 years old. Over a 20-year-long career, he has compiled an impressive CV, having played for Real Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen and Bayern Munich. Roberto has won the Bundesliga 4 times and La Liga, and even lifted the Champions League trophy. Now he's taking things a little easier in his native Brazil, captaining the champions of Brazilian top flight, Palmeiras. Since joining in 2015, the middle-aged Brazilian has remained a regular in the side. He said that although he may not have the speed he once possessed, he now uses his experience to his advantage, claiming that he could still be playing in the Bundesliga, no doubt about it. His current contract keeps him in Sao Paulo until the end of the year, but with 13 appearances as a left-back since August, he doesn't show any evidence of slowing down. Thank you for watching. That was 10 footballers you didn't know were still playing. If you can think of any more, please let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, why not check out Stat Wars, the loser edition? And as ever, always remember to like and subscribe.